Hello, welcome to Secure Talk, your trusted source of information on the latest threats, trends, tools, and technology related to cybersecurity.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Secure Talk. My name is Mark Schreiner, and I'll be your host for this episode of Secure Talk. Today, we're going to be talking to the co-founder and CEO of Coinrule, Mr. Gabriele Musella. And we're going to be talking about, the state of crypto, what's going on, and then some of the different programs that Coinrule has to offer. But first, let's welcome Gabriele. Gabriele, how are you today?
Very good, thank you. Hi, everyone.
Hey. So as I mentioned prior to hitting the record button, I'm in Bellevue, Washington. Whereabouts are you at?
I'm in London, UK at the moment.
Hey, we probably have very similar weather. Gray and cloudy. Let me guess.
Actually, today is very sunny day. I'm like, yeah, it's spectacular. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, once you're done with this call, it should be your evening there. You can go out and enjoy some of that late afternoon sunshine.
Yes.
Hey, so Gabriele, I mean, this has been an interesting, couple months for the crypto market, and it's time for all the naysayers to stand up and go like, see, I told you this was just an overinflated fad. I mean, what's your take about what's going on with different cryptocurrencies right now?
I mean, it's the typical cycles of cryptos, right? It's like, goes up, goes down. I mean, personally, I really like when something like this happen because you kind of clean up a little bit the market from the project that were not so strong. And from all the FUD. So I really like the fact that there are cycles. The fact that Luna went down, it's not a big news to me because everyone before was already raising some issues about that blockchain. I lost some funds as well in that crash. But this stuff has happened like 2 years ago. It happened 6 years ago. It's just a part of the cycle. I think now it's just a good time to buy, especially a good project.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I mean, it's funny because with everything else in life, people want to buy when it's cheap, but when it comes to investments, they want to buy when prices are going up, right? And the real opportunities typically, historically, have been after crashes. And if you look at just most recently during the pandemic, the first 2 months of the pandemic, everything, I'm talking about stock markets crashed, and it was a huge buy opportunity. And I also like your point about that, crashes like this, cycles like this, kind of clean out or weed out some of the weaker, products or services that are being offered out there. One question though I have though is one of the sales points or the selling points of crypto is that it should be a non-correlating asset class. And or also a hedge against inflation. You can print more dollars, but depending on the crypto, let's just talk about Bitcoin, for example, there is a finite number that can be mined. So what are your thoughts? Because right now, it looks like crypto is correlating with the broader market, and it doesn't necessarily look like it's a hedge against inflation. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, like actually crypto is correlated to a lot of things. Totally, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they follow really the stock market, the FTSE 100 as well, totally.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there is, an inverted correlation with inflation as well, and also with the property market. So, I mean, I never bought into that narrative because at the end of the day, crypto is mostly about FOMO and like there's people trading, and most of them are really inexperienced. And then you have like the 10% of the traders that are big funds and they know what they're doing, right? And they actually move the market, they make the market. So I always thought that the fundamental analysis that people do, it's very similar to the ones that you do on stock market by checking the project, checking the technology, reading the white paper, being part of the community, and that's what most of the people, then the kind of beginner investors do. Then you got another category that is like the big whales, and then there's another one that is the day traders that they actually play with technical analysis. But in each situation, those type of traders, they know what to do, right? They do like side strategy, they do more accumulation strategy, speculative ones. It depends from the market, but those ones are always present. So I would say like, yeah, there's high correlation, and actually with the Coinrule, what we have done to actually then apply this idea of correlation is to connect TradingView on your rules. So basically, you can create a script on TradingView. You can get signals from all sorts of these different digital assets, and then you can run your automated strategies on Coinrule. So that's actually we did it because, and since we did that feature, we really got a big bump in subscription for that specific plan called the trader plan. So yeah, so I really believe in that, and also we have like few features that that kind of applies this idea.
So let's, I mean, you kind of segued very quickly into Coinrule, and I like that. So let's continue. Why don't you explain a little bit more from an introductory level what Coinrule is, and then I'd like to get into the specifics about how you help, normal Joe traders like myself compete with the big boys.
Yes, so Coinrule brings automated trading to the masses. So we have a very simple interface that helps you create automated strategies. So algorithmic trading sounds very difficult, very complicated. You need to know how to code. But actually, if you have a very good interface that you can find on platforms like Coinrule, you can build an algo trades in few seconds by clicking like few different blocks of conditions and actions. So usually, the paradigm is also is always if this then that. So you can do something like if Bitcoin goes down 3%, buy Ethereum at this specific price given certain conditions. Then you press play and this machine goes on the market and trade on your behalf. So the idea is that you can create more than 10,000 different strategies, and because the actual UI is very flexible. Or if you don't know how to play with it, if you don't have any idea at that moment, you can actually use one of our templates that we propose you. Like there's a library with like 200 templates you can choose from, and there's a very plain English explanation of that, so you can actually understand what you're going to do. So you can really mix and match, you can play around, and you can create a lot of different automations. And the beauty of it is that Coinrule runs on top of your investment platform. No matter if you use Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, we integrate with the 12 exchanges at the moment. So your funds are safely stored on that wallet, and you can just connect Coinrule with an API key. Once you connect it, we actually bring automation to your investment platform.
That is pretty interesting. Let's slow down a bit. And now, when you mentioned trade rules, go a little bit deeper on that. What exactly is a trade rule?
A trade rule, it's basically could be anything you want to automate. So the idea is like instead of sitting in front of charts all day long and buying and selling manually, or just playing with very basic things like stop loss or limit buy, you can actually create something that is a little bit more interesting. You can create your blocks with conditions. You can say if the volume on this specific coin reaches a specific amount, do this and that. Or you can say if the MA, so moving average, reaches this or crosses below this amount, buy or sell. Or you can say something like if the price of Bitcoin is raising and the volume also is raising, wait 3 hours, then sell all my funds and buy this other coin. So you can really, I mean, the sky's the limit. You can really create your own automatism.
Okay, and so if I'm using your platform, I'm going to have different rules to choose from. If this, if that, and I would say, I can pick the other currency, I could pick the exchange, and then I could pick different levels, and then I can pick an action. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Correct. Yes.
So, and then I'm assuming that templates are just a kind of pre-formatted set of rules that I can, instead of trying to figure it all out myself, I can just take this template and say, this is the trading template or the trading plan that I want to execute. Is that the way it works?
Yeah, that's correct. But the beauty of it is it's not a black box. So a lot of companies out there, they ask you to put your money here, get your 5% per year. Everyone is happy. But then you don't understand what they're actually doing behind the scene. With the Coinrule, when you select a template, you can actually see the whole structure, and you can also modify the structure. And at the end of the day, you are the one, the actual person that puts the amount in each of the fields. So we really kind of makes the user feel in control of the funds while teaching you how also to manage your funds.
Okay, so I get that would help me compete with the quote unquote big guys because, I don't have time to sit in front of the computer, look at all the different signal and then action these trades. I can automate that, and I can kind of plan my day, my week, my month out in advance if I so want to do that. At the same time, the quote unquote big guys, they also use kind of complex algorithms to monitor what's going on in the market. And some people feel that that's kind of a competitive advantage. How does Coinrule kind of work around that?
I mean, the way to think about it is that there are two things. First of all, what big funds and day traders do is not as complex as we think. So we've seen like, we were working with some big traders, some small family offices as well. They were trading like 300-400 millions per month. And if you see the strategies, it's like swing trading, it's like accumulations, it's like liquidation, rebalancing. They're like kind of pretty simple things, just done with the right digital assets. And then the second thing is also that we give you access to algorithmic trading. We give you the tools. We give you the legal blocks, right? But then ultimately, it's the users that need to know how to play with them and also and kind of learn and get interested in what's going on in the market, what's the right signal, and what is the right time to buy and to sell. And that's it's in any situations like that. We can give you like a big Lamborghini car, but then you need to know how to drive it, right? So there are these two components that are really important to understand. First, finance is not hard to understand, and strategies that works are actually not so complex. And secondly, like everyone can learn, within few months.
Excellent. So if I wanted to get started, let's just say I have a Coinbase account, right? What do I have to do to get started with Coinrule?
And pretty straightforward. So you go in your account, in your profile page, you create, there's a button where you can create an API key. You take that string of code, copy and paste in Coinrule, and off you go.
Sounds pretty simple. And then how does Coinrule get paid on that?
I mean, there is a free plan. You can start with that, and then there's a limit of like something like $5,000 a month traded. So it's really just kind of test the product. And after that, we have like 3 different plans, starting from $30 up to $500 a month. So yeah, it depends from your needs.
Okay. And this is secure talk, so security is always top of mind, regardless of what company we're talking with. What are the concerns that I should have, as let's just say I'm using my Coinbase account or some other account. I take that API key from my trading platform, put it into the Coinrule. What security concerns should I have or shouldn't I have about sharing API information from my account with a third party?
I mean, to be honest, Coinrule is super safe because actually when you create the API key, we don't ask you for withdrawal rights. So the only thing Coinrule can do is actually sending buying and selling instruction at a specific time to your underlying platform, right? So there's no withdrawal rights. So even if someone were to hack Coinrule, like the only thing they can do, the worst thing is actually just buy some bad coins, and then just on the market buying the wrong coin. But they cannot withdraw the coin on your behalf. We don't even have access to your withdrawal rights. First. Secondly, there's a good thing because the money on your wallet, on Binance, on Coinbase, obviously have like a very strong security team, and also you don't need to do another KYC onboarding process with us, right? That's also another kind of pain point that we avoid. So in terms of safety and risks, it's like really minimal, and obviously we encrypt all the API keys in 3 different servers in 3 different locations. So it's like there is a lot of topic about security, but ultimately the business model, the actual business, is made in a way that from day one we were thinking like we don't want liability, and also the customer doesn't want to move funds again to another new platform. So we already structured the business like that since day one.
Sounds great. Hey, so let's talk a little bit about the business. Maybe walk us through the evolution of Coinrule.
Oh gosh, we came like okay, yeah, it's like it was like 2018 when we started. Yeah, it was basically I wanted to build an automated automated trades on IG index for some stocks, and that's where I came up with the idea. So I went home that night half drunk, and then yeah, because I remember
An honest
guy,
man, I like it.
Man, I'm super honest.
True inspiration comes from the bottle of wine.
Man. Exactly, always. What was it? No big night started with a salad, right? That was the saying. Yeah. So basically, there was this colleague of mine. We were at company drinks. Probably was Christmas drinks, and we were. He was talking about this strategy he had. So every day he will buy the best performing coin, then wait 24 hours, sell it, and buy the next one, the best performing one. That was his strategy, and he made like something like 2-3x in 1 year, playing with the FT 100. And so I got like really inspired by that, and I went home and tried to build the same script. It didn't work, and it was so difficult on IG index. I think they use their own programming language, so I had to kind of think in Python and then kind of translate it in there. So it didn't work. I don't know if because I was drunk again or because I was like just a bad coder, but I had basically I started sketching the interface of what then became Coinrule, and then I was at that time in an accelerator mass challenge that it's also in the US in Boston, but I was in there here in London, and that's where I found also my co-founder, also another company, and also I found my CTO, and just basically slowly we came together and we started working on this product, and then we went to an accelerator in Budapest in Hungary. That was our first fundraise. Then we did a crowdfunding campaign in the UK, and then we ended up in Y Combinator last year, and we did a much bigger round. So now we have very good investors. We have the co-founder of kayak.com, the founder of Twitch, the founder of Fitbit. So yes, now we have part of a very good network, and yeah, now all the VCs are always kind of looking at us, and they want to know when we do the next round, and yeah, so it's good. That's how it started, and this is how it's going.
So how big are you now? And you can tell me in terms of whatever terms you want to use to define.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine because when you speak with other founders, it's always like, how big is your team? And I don't really like that because it's better if you have a smaller team that's high performative than a bigger one. But yeah, the team is around 20 people now. We have around 170,000 customers on the platform, and we transact around like $500 million per month. That's how much we transact in terms of volume. But obviously, we are a SaaS platform, so we actually monetize for subscription, not by volume.
No, those are some pretty impressive numbers there. And so what would be the next step? I mean, I'm assuming most of your people on board are developers.
Yeah, the tech team is around 12 people. Yeah, and the rest is kind of support and I mean we only have like probably 3 people in growth, but yeah, mostly it's really tech and so tech support.
Mm-hmm. And then so what would be your next step? Go for more funding? Greater growth?
I mean, to be honest, no, because I mean, to be honest, we have like enough money in the bank. We are kind of very European in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
So we like cash flow, we like profits, and we don't like spending much money like without meaning. Even if the VCs obviously they want you to spend because they want to validate their investment quickly. If it's gonna be a unicorn or not. But in our case, we have money in the bank. We are good. We are now kind of checking also how it's going with the market, because I don't know if you follow by the startup community. In the last 2 weeks, there have been a lot of talks about, the winter is coming. Let's not spend money. Let's kind of cut costs. A lot of big companies have like fired, at least 20 to 30% of their workforce. So there is all of that. And it's one of the situations that if you go through the winter, like you still survive, basically all your competitors probably will go bankrupt and you will have like a much bigger market share. So that's what we are at now. So we actually improving the product, working like really heads down on the product, listening to the customers. I'm not talking anymore to investors. I'm not taking the calls anymore. And just like really, yeah, because once you come out of fundraising where you've been like just pitching 20 times a day, you just feel relief that you can actually go back and do the real thing. Because at the end of the day, if you have a good product, I know it's really obvious, but a lot of people don't understand that if you have a good product, this is what's going to bring you out, from like, the first stage of your company, from the 0 to 1, but also it's going to make you really profitable and successful. And then investor will come to you. Spending time in fundraising, throwing more money at your business without actually finding that product market fit and that formula or paid marketing that works makes no sense. So, you need to kind of do experiments like on different channels in terms of marketing, and then to find the one that actually allow you to have a customer acquisition cost of, let's say, $10, but then a lifetime value of like, $30. Once you find that formula, then you can go back to the VCs and say, look, give me 10 millions. I need to spend it on marketing because I found something that really prints money, and this is the narrative.
That's some awesome advice, and I'm not gonna take issue with any of that. I have a lot of CEOs and founders on the podcast, and I think everybody's trying to figure out what's the balance between getting more money, but then you have to worry about dilution, and then what do you do with the money? And back to your previous point about the potential of a so-called winter coming on is, I mean, if you can make it through it, it's also what I see as an opportunity, because right now dev costs are pretty high, but if there's more talent on the market, that's an opportunity. Everything, all costs are should drop, and therefore it presents an opportunity. You did a lot of work at Google mentoring early stage startups, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So talk a little bit about that experience in terms of what are the critical things that you would look at when you're mentoring other CEOs and founders?
Yeah, so always comes in on come in on Tuesday. So usually I have this 1 week sprint, and every day it's about something. So on Tuesday it's about UX and product, and then I got another day for tech, for business development and stuff like that. So usually those startups are very young. The reason is like four guys they got together like 2 months ago and they started working on a product. So usually the main problem is around understanding the user journey, all the customer experience, all the omni-channel experience of the customer, what are the touch points. And usually this is one of the main weaknesses. When someone comes together, it's always because they have an idea, but then there's all that process, that mediation that you have to be doing. What's my idea? What's my discovery? Is that discovery relevant for a customer base? And how do we validate or invalidate that assumptions with proper methodological, user research? So in user research is so important, but there's this saying in the UX community that you have to interview at least 5 customers, and those 5 customers, if you do deep interviews of at least 1 hour, they will give you 80% of the problems and the needs that you need to find for your product. So you can obviously go and interview more, but the gain you get from this additional interviews is not as much as you get from the first 5. And sometimes even young startups, they're like sometimes people are introverts, so they are just covering themselves behind the monitor, and they don't really go out and talk with the customer because it's difficult. You need to go and talk to strangers and actually find a way to interact with them. And you need to get qualitative data as well, quantitative data, make them together. Quantitative helps you understand where to look, and qualitative, so basically face-to-face interviews helps you understand what is it that you're looking at. So there are these 2 components, and I found that early stage startups really lack that component, that systematic approach to user research, and I help them to be on the right track with the specific methodologies and toolkits that I can provide them, so that they can actually start understanding if there is a business, if there could be a business, and what type of product then they need to build based on very strong user needs that are also big enough to be covering a big enough markets. So it's it's product management work. It's putting the 3 main points together: the business, the user, and the product tech side, right? So this is the 3 components that usually at the beginning it's like a puzzle, and you need to start matching slowly.
And do you have any favorite books or methodologies that you would recommend to founders?
I mean, there is obviously the design sprint from Google. It's great to actually do quick iterations and understand at the beginning, what to do, how to categorize the activities that you're doing in terms of discoveries. But then there is one book that I love, is called Tractions. It's a Traction. It's basically it explain you more than 50 different marketing channels and how you can exploit each of them. And then it also tells you, once you find a channel that works for you, just drop everything else and just go for it. And then once you saturated that market, start again searching for another channel. Sorry. So the idea is that each company has a natural channels to market through, and once you find that, you just need to really optimize the hell out of it. So that's the most important. And then that's a great book that I like. I like also the 0 to 1. That was also a very good book. Very American, right? Very deterministic, Silicon Valley style. But I mean, it's good to make your
No,
point clear, right?
I totally love the people who are aware of the huge cultural divide between different countries. U.S. and Europe. Europe also has different cultures in
Yes.
business cultures in Europe. But I worked for a Swiss company for 4 years. I've worked for a company that's based in the UK for a couple of years. I'm currently working with a company that's based in Budapest. And it's amazing how different the culture is, and how I have to
Yeah.
I have to tone down and calm down all the time. It's because people are like, whoa, slow down, man, slow down. I'm like, no, man, we gotta go. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's very interesting. And so, I mean, you being based in I think you're in the UK. You said, yeah, in London. I think originally, where are you from?
I'm from Italy.
Yeah.
I've been I lived like for what, 1 year in Finland, 2 years in Boston. I was working at MIT, and then since 12 years I've been in London. But actually, the last 3 years I've been just traveling around. I've been living on Airbnb, nomading, because you go some places for a conference or for a meeting with a VC, and then you end up staying like one more month there. So I've been really living out of my luggage in the last 3 years
And your
for a
business
number of years.
and your business is global. So I mean,
Yeah.
do you find, given your business model, that it's being more well received in some markets versus others?
Oh yeah, totally, totally. It's like we still didn't manage to understand the Asian market. I mean, all the Western countries are perfect for us. So the most profitable customers for us are in the US, followed by UK, South Africa, Switzerland, and then the rest of Europe. But we are trying to get into Singapore, Indonesia, and so it's very difficult. Just like they work in different ways.
They do, but I do like the fact that you mentioned Singapore first as a point of entry into Asia, because well, one, there's the language there, but there is also the very strong ties to Europe, and it's a finance center, so it totally makes sense. By the way, I lived and worked in Asia off and on for about 20 years, all over Asia.
Mm.
I lived in Singapore for 4 years, lived in Hong Kong, Taiwan, Korea, Japan, and if you're going to go to Asia, given your business model, I think Singapore's a good first stop. Um,
Mm.
well, hey, let me ask you just one last question. Again, coming back to the security thing, as a CEO and co-founder, I know that you're probably really focused on the product development and growth. Okay, and that's an assumption, but that's typically where most CEOs are focused. Security, though, given your platform, and it doesn't even matter if you're not actually given the rights to conduct trades on behalf of your clients, but you still need to like secure your platform and your communications. And how do you manage that? Is this something that you build into the product? Is it something that you have regular audits, or do you follow some type of ISO or NIST standard or CIS? I mean, what do you do to make sure that everything is locked tight?
I mean, it's a mix of things, as you said. So we have audits every 6 months. We had like a more basic one at the beginning. Now we have more budget, so we are doing a much bigger one throughout the app. We have a very good bounty program. So literally every month we get like some requests for some bugs, and then we pay out and we action those bugs, very quickly. We take action on them, and then obviously we run on everything is on Amazon. We have Kubernetes, so we kind of our really approach to security is to basically have like very good monitoring. So for us, the monitoring, we have always someone on call over the weekend as well. So when anything happens, we are actually ready to just revert back if we cannot deploy something that can generate some sort of issues in terms of security. So we can revert back within few minutes, literally. And also we have everyone on call also during the week. And in terms of the security, we use all the standards, and I mean, I'm not the one really close to that part of the business. We have like our tech co-founder that now it's a CIO. He takes care of security, and also we have a CTO. So we have a very strong leadership team also on the technical side. And I think it's very complementary to my skill and my co-founder skill, the CEO as well. So that we complement. But in terms of security, I know that we actually use all the modern standard stack, and also I actually put a very good budget on it. Also, we are very close to our community, so we have a very active Discord channel. So really, they are the best like watchdog for us. Whenever there's something wrong, or whenever there is some scammer in the group, and just like they just kind of ring the alarm, and then so for example, we have this problem with a lot of scammers in the group impersonating the co-founders, and it's just crazy. That's another type of obviously security risk, because
Yeah.
it's not directly related to the product, but still, we actually, I think one guy once was scammed basically by this guy. Like, I think he lost like $1,000 because he sent the money directly to his wallet. So we always say in our group, like in our community, like we will never, first of all, DM you first, and
Yeah.
also we will never ask you to send us money, because all our business model we don't require that. But there are a lot of scammers out there in that sense. But in
I mean,
terms of security, I mean,
go ahead. Sorry.
no, we never had any major problem, to be honest, in the last 3 years. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's quite common these days for new hires at a company to get an email from their boss or from the CEO,
Yes.
it's an urgent question or urgent request. Hey, please go get $500 worth of gift cards and then get back in touch with me. I mean, and it's kind of law of numbers. You send enough of those out, you get one person, and if you get one person to respond a day, you're making $500 a day. But if you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
live with
yeah.
yourself, yeah. So hey, so what is the next big thing that you're planning for 2022 that you can talk about?
I mean, it's actually something it's very interesting. I think we are expanding to stocks because we don't see kind of cryptocurrencies just as a market per se, but we see it, in a more holistic way. We see the fintech market as a mix of digital assets, right? So for
Mhm.
us, having our machine running also on some stock platform, it will increase massively the market, so we can literally make a 2, 3, 4x on our revenues. But also, you can start serving a more mature type of audience, and it's going to be very interesting how these people are going to use the product, what are their comments, their feedback. It's going to be so interesting, and I'm very happy because it means that finally we get out of that kind of crypto community. Because sometimes when you're really too much into your group, you start kind of lose focus. You just start building faster horses because that's what they ask you. I want this feature, I want this feature. But then actually, just by switching the focus of the product towards a new segment of users, then it will really kind of really increase the market. Also because I don't know, as I was saying, like we have enough budget in the bank account, but still, my view is to do maybe a Series A in 2 years' time, and I want to get to a good monthly recurring revenues in order to start kicking off that fundraise. So I think that's the next big thing. And also another one that I really hope we will be able to do because we are doing a massive refactoring on the platform. So I want to do the back testing functionality. It's crazy. It's like 2022. There is no good back testing on any of the investment platform that is good enough to be like used by normal people. So I
What
think
is,
this is
I'm sorry, I don't get what is back
so back
testing?
testing is basically the ability for you to build a strategy, build a rule,
And
and
then
then
test it
test
over
that on
history.
historical data. Yeah. So let's say from last year market condition. So
That
how
is
it
an
works?
awesome idea. I've wanted to do something like that for so long because I've been investing for 20 something years,
Totally. Yeah.
and I read a lot of books, and always come up with these crazy ideas, and I would like, oh man, I'm sure that would make, but how do you test it? How do you know,
I mean, it is possible, but it's very complicated because you need to run script in Python. You have libraries, then you need to find a good service where to run it. There's a lot of complications, but there is nothing like that for the retail market. So this is one feature that is already all designed or specced out in our backlog, but still we are not like we don't have the right environment yet to actually build a good one. We can build one. We already have one that we can do it through TradingView, but I'm talking about something that's really usable for everyone. So this is
No, I
going to
mean
be
that would be
something that I'm looking
awesome.
for.
It's like a flight simulator for investors that want to,
Yes, totally.
that practice in the past and just see like how would it have worked. I mean, I think that, dude, I would subscribe. Sign me up. Okay.
Yeah, done.
Awesome. Well, hey, Gabrielle, I really enjoyed this conversation. You're probably the only person I've met who talks faster than I do. So,
Okay, that's from Southern Europe. We are all like that, South European
okay, well,
people.
maybe I got to go and spend some time there. But hey, enjoy the conversation. I'm sure you're going to be having an awesome 2022, and look forward to touching base with you in the future.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Hello, welcome to Secure Talk, your trusted source of information on the latest threats, trends, tools, and technology related to cybersecurity and compliance.